Welcome to the Surfside PPC podcast. Go to surfsideppc.com to join Surfside PPC Premium and ask your questions. Thanks for listening, and please subscribe.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 9 of the Surfside PPC podcast. So for every podcast that comes out now, we will also have a premium video that comes out with it as well. So if you're part of Surfside PPC Premium, then you will also be able to watch videos. I'm actually going to go back and create videos for all of the podcast episodes for the previous 8, and just make sure we have just premium videos, podcasts coming out every single week. So it's kind of the same topics, and we'll kind of have a consistent publishing schedule. The other thing is I have 2 free training videos out if you sign up for my newsletter. So if you go to my website, you'll see links on the very top of my website to go get that training. My course is available at $34.99 a year. My Google Ads course may do a couple more course-like content, so look out for those. But today we will get into a question, which is going to be, so I got this question from a subscriber, and I probably won't have it perfectly said, and we'll do an AI voice that reads it. But the question is about cost per click being really high with maximized conversions bidding, and basically not being able to get any activity with manual bidding, which common issue that I also deal with. So we'll put in the question out, and then we will answer. So here's question number.
My cost per click is very high for a new campaign. I need to get clicks in, but manual bidding seems to not get me any activity. What is the best way to approach this? Maximize conversions. Bidding is leading to clicks that cost several $100s each. Please help get my cost per click down.
Okay, so question number 1. So mentioned it before, but basically cost per click really high, have a high budget set, using different types of keywords, and basically can't get any activity from using manual bidding, and can't quite get maximized conversions bidding to make any sense as far as costs. So this is a pretty common issue, and I may have mentioned this on another podcast episode. I'll repeat myself a lot, I'm sure, but there's time where I worked with somebody that had a high budget set, maximize conversions bidding, and basically what Google did with the first 2 clicks was just go through this massive budget. And it's like sometimes if Google sees, like Google Ads, you have a high budget set, your maximize conversions bidding strategy is almost going to overbid to say, oh, we're willing to spend this much. But it doesn't really make sense from a cost per click and a click volume standpoint. This is one of the issues with Google Ads right now, is getting good click volume and driving enough clicks and driving enough conversions and even getting enough impressions in some cases can really be a challenge. So when you're first launching and you're in, it's easier to do this when there's a lot of volume out there. If you're like a national company and you're targeting, you're targeting keywords that there's a lot of people searching for it, it's much different than somebody who's providing like a very specific type of service in some specific type of market. And so it's easy to kind of say, oh, well, we could just go onto Google Ads and drive a ton of results. But what's really challenging is if you're not getting a lot of conversion volume, like if you're not getting a lot of phone calls, if you're not getting a lot of website forms, if you're not getting a lot of purchases, it is hard to optimize your Google Ads campaign. So ultimately what I would say is when you're first getting started when you have these high costs per click and it is competitive and you're trying to break in and be competitive with other companies, I have found the best way to do it is exact match keywords. And I like using Manual CPC bidding and just looking at what the estimated first page bid is, the estimated top of page bid, and using that to guide my initial bidding strategy. So if you're doing keywords, or if you're an electrician, for example, and you're an electrician in a competitive market, it's going to be expensive. Your clicks are going to be expensive. Regardless of who's managing your ads, you have the best Google Ads manager in the world, and your clicks are still going to be very, very expensive. So really what my first strategy is, how do I get in relevant clicks? And, I'm just going to have to bid up for those relevant clicks initially, because I'm trying to get relevant clicks as fast as possible, because that will help me drive conversions. So what I would do is find the best high impact keywords. If you're an electrician, it's going to be electrician near me. It's going to be electrician, the locations that you're in. Take the different types of services that you're providing that people are regularly searching. So any type of electric keyword that, create landing pages for, target those keywords, exact match. This is where having a bigger keyword list does help, because you have more opportunities to actually target different types of searches if you're using exact match keywords. Set Manual CPC bidding. You can also use maximize clicks. Like I always say, maximize clicks and exact match, Manual CPC and exact match. They can still work. I don't think they're the best strategy to use, but initially in high cost per click industries, in really any type of, I'm currently running some ads for Google Ads Consulting just to kind of see what happens. And it's one of those things where the clicks for the actual searches like Google Ads Consultant are very, very expensive. So it's like when you get one of those clicks in, it's like $30, $40, $50. And it's like, can I get clicks like that for $4, $5, $10? It's like, probably not. So sometimes when you're initially getting into it, you really do just have to bid really high on these keywords. And sometimes you might be like, I have to bid $50 per click, but there's companies that are paying $30, $40, $50 per click that have been running ads in your market that have things very optimized and working and good quality scores. So your goal is start targeting keywords, exact match. And I try to get my quality score as high as possible, relevant ads, relevant landing pages. Landing page experience is kind of the actual quality score term that Google uses, but trying to just create really organized campaigns as best as I possibly can. And ultimately that's what's going to help you in the long run. So I think you're just trying to get conversion data in initially. And instead of spending, $300 per click or $400 per click, if you're able to get your first 10 or 15 clicks in for $400, then it's a lot easier to kind of get things on track and start optimizing your campaign. So my approach, manual bidding, exact match keywords. If you keep really close controls on it, you can do phrase match with manual bidding. I would say broad match in manual bidding does not work whatsoever. And when you're using maximize clicks, you have to kind of consider that Google's going for, generally, if you're just trying to drive clicks and traffic, it's different than trying to drive leads. When you're trying to bid for leads, you're saying, okay, I'm willing to pay more per click because I feel a lead is more likely. The whole point of maximize clicks is, can I get more clicks in on the same keywords that I'm already targeting? So this will kind of wrap up the episode. Make sure if you want to join Surfside PPC Premium, I'll do a video component to this episode. But ultimately, it's not an easy thing to get your initial conversion data in. But if you set your budget really high, if you have keywords with kind of a wide search intent and more expensive keywords, then your initial clicks might come in really expensively. So even when I switch over to maximize conversion bidding, I still try to manage my budget, because sometimes there's like this, let's set our budget to $1,000. Let's use maximize conversions bidding. If you don't have good conversion data, Google just overbids. You just kind of spend a lot of money when you don't necessarily have to. So that will wrap up our episode. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my newsletter, so you'll get all of my content once you do that. And I will see you on episode number 10.
Thanks for listening to the Surfside PPC podcast. Please go to surfsideppc.com for management or consulting options, or to get my course or join Surfside PPC Premium through my YouTube channel, my school page, or my Patreon. Please subscribe.